Hey everybody, it's Coach Sharp from McCoy. I wanted to say hello to all of our CFB families out there. No matter what school you're from, no matter what grade you are, I have a fun activity for you guys to do today. Now, originally, this activity is made for Kinder First and Second. It is a tossing activity, so I have a rolled up pair of socks. You guys can use maybe a small plush toy or any other kind of softer ball, even maybe a mandarin orange or those little cutie oranges. I know they're called different things in different stores. You could use that too. I would not recommend anything too hard or too big. So because this is a tossing activity, I am gonna show you guys kind of what I'm looking for when you toss. You are going to need a helper for this, so either parents, please join in, or older, younger brother and sister. If they can toss and catch, then you can do this activity. So when you toss, what I'm looking for is just a small little toss in the air, maybe even with the top of your head or possibly a little higher, but we're not trying to toss as high as possible. So when you bring your arm back, we're gonna release right at the waist level. My socks are gonna go up in the air, and then if you're doing this with a partner, you are going to be tossing back and forth to each other. So anytime I say the word toss, tossing, tossed, any version of the word toss, you are going to toss your item to your partner. Now, if you guys are in 3rd, 4th, or 5th grade, I would say that you and your partner should both have an item. So when you toss, you're actually adding in the skill of doing two things at once. So I'm tossing, I'm giving my partner a good toss, and then also my partner should be giving me a good toss at the same time. Now, if you are Kinder First and Second, if you don't have a partner to toss with, and that would just be one item, I'd be tossing back and forth with my mom or my dad or my brother or sister, and we only have one thing going back and forth, okay? If you don't have somebody to toss with, you can do this activity on your own. You just need to listen to the story, and then every time I say some variation of the word toss, you're just tossing and catching, okay? So I'll leave it up to you guys what item you choose. I'm gonna start the story, and then anytime you hear me say the word toss, tossing, or tossed, toss it up either to your partner. 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders, you guys are both gonna have an item with whoever you're tossing with. It's gonna be a little bit more fun if you have a partner. Or if you have more than that, you guys could be in a group, and if there's 3 of us, I know I'm always tossing to the same person, somebody else tosses to them, and then that person is tossing to me if we're in a group of 3. And if we're in a group of 4, you guys can do the same thing as well. You're just always tossing around the circle, okay? All right, let's get going with the story. It is, and every time I say the word toss, make sure you're tossing. Here we go. So, here is the story. Mr. Toss, the amazing fireman. Mr. Toss was one of the best firemen. He and his firefighting dog Spot were the quickest team around. It was late during the quiet night at the station when suddenly Mr. Toss sprang up in his bed to the sound of the alarm that went beep, beep, beep. He immediately realized that someone was in danger and tossed his blankets onto the floor and popped up out of bed. The only problem was that Mr. Toss had been particularly messy that week, and he was tossing dirty socks and shirts around in piles in an attempt to find his fire suit. After tossing and tossing clothes and trash into new and bigger piles of junk, he saw the sparkling yellow color of his favorite fire suit, which he slipped on. He then snatched his red hard hat off his terribly cluttered dresser and tossed it on his head. Oh no! Where was his fire dog Spot? In a panic, he realized that he had probably covered Spot under a pile of junk that he had carelessly tossed just seconds earlier. He knew his dog had a tendency to sleep through the alarm, and so he again started tossing and tossing. He was in such a hurry at this time that he was tossing handfuls of banana peels and socks high into the air, hoping to uncover Spot. Sure enough, Spot was sound asleep in a pile of unmatched socks. Mr. Toss grabbed his dog, his boots that he would toss into the truck, and slid down the fireman pole, which tossed him and his dog right into the driver's seat of the huge, shiny red fire engine. Mr. Toss and Spot were surprised at how bumpy the ride was up to the fire. They tossed and tossed in their seats as they went over huge rocks, through the mountains. The fire engine came to a screeching halt at the top of a mountain where they saw the bright red crackling fire. Flames were being tossed about a huge dark mansion on the 7th floor. Mr. Toss immediately saw a little girl trapped in a window of flames who was tossing her favorite toys out the window so they wouldn't melt. "Little girl, please stop tossing your toys because it isn't safe," Mr. Toss exclaimed. The little girl wouldn't listen though. She just kept tossing and tossing her toys into a fluffy bush down below. Mr. Toss decided that he would have to rescue that girl. Mr. Toss tossed his fire dog the huge hose and told him to spray out the flames so he could save the little girl. Mr. Toss leapt into the flames, but he was running so fast that the sparking flames tossing about the stairs couldn't catch him. Mr. Toss tossed aside burning chairs and tables until he was able to snatch the little girl along with an armful of her toys. Mr. Toss took off his jacket and tossed it over the nervous little girl so she wouldn't breathe any of the thick black smoke. Mr. Toss tossed furniture out of the way as they went over shelves, through potted plants, and under tables. The girl and her toys tossed and tossed in Mr. Toss's arms as he ran down 6 flights of stairs. When they came to the front door, they both took a gasp of fresh air with a great relief. Mr. Toss saw that his dog Spot had done a wonderful job, as usual, at tossing water all over the flames and putting them out. The fire engine tossed Mr. Toss, Spot, and the little girl all the way to town. They took the girl back to her home, and all was well. Mr. Toss and his fire dog fulfilled their mission for the day. Now, I have one, that was the end of the story. Hopefully you guys got some good tossing in there and didn't drop anything. But if you did, hopefully you got it up quick enough in order to get the next toss going. I have one little challenge, and this is for my McCoy Cowboys. If you guys rewatch this, or maybe you were counting as we were going through, so you guys can count again and see how many times I said the word toss. And if you guys email me the correct number, or if you are able to, it can be email, or you guys can send me a message through our new Google Classrooms, or also Seesaw for Kinder First and Second. If you guys give me the correct number, then I will give a special shout out to those students the next time that I make a video. So enjoy the weather, and I want to say happy Easter weekend to those of you that do celebrate Easter, and that stay safe. Enjoy the weather when it's nice. Today is definitely a day that I will be enjoying outside, and I miss you guys. Coach Sharp out. Till next time. Bye, guys.